12, I'm not sure.
All right.
11, 12,
Right.
something. Mark,
He's been
Apollo
married
brought
to
me.
his.
Way more than that,
It
sorry.
has to be, yeah.
Yeah, way
Okay.
more. I've been in my current house for 10 years, so way more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Bob? Now this one you better get right. Or this one you better know. He's been married to his sweetheart Mary for how many years?
60.
Wow.
Congratulations. That's amazing. Okay. And, yeah, because this says you were married for 49 years. So this is Paula keeps the
Wow.
paperwork.
I couldn't come to your party on Friday because I took my wife to see Smokey Robinson down in Saratoga.
That was good?
Yeah, it was great.
Very, very nice.
He's 83, and I mean, he sings
Awesome.
great.
That's fantastic.
Wow. Okay. Bob has raised 9 children, 6 boys, 3 girls, so he never had any animals because he said I didn't need them. His hobbies are racquetball, and I still think he plays
Pickleball.
pickleball now.
I graduated, yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, very, very good. And you've lived in Orangevale for how many years? What do you think?
In construction?
Orangevale.
20,
Yeah, and how long have you been in construction?
50. Started in 72, got my license in 76.
Okay, very, very good. Bob has done work for me, he's done work for a lot of my clients, and I can tell you it's always been fun and an adventure, and he really does a great job. So Bob, take it away.
So, yeah, 25 grandchildren, and the most recent great-grandchildren are twins. And the thing is, out of 25 grandchildren, 21 are boys. And I have 3 daughters. First one had 5 boys, next one 4 boys, and that's 3 boys. My daughters would say, "What do you think it is, Dad?" And I said, "Well, let's see." Well, I thought long enough, if it's a girl, we throw them back. So we have boys, so I've been blamed ever since. You know, I'm going to pass around, I'm going to talk about something that we talked about before, which was decks. And the reason, because this time of year to build a deck or to do it, not wait till it rains. And basically there is like 3 products to use. You can use composite, redwood, or Douglas fir. Douglas fir is a good strong deck. People think, oh, I need redwood. It's horrible. It looks good for a couple of years, maybe 2, 3, if you want to work your tail off and maintain it. And then if you stain it wrong, you're in trouble because you got to sand it back off and go at it. Soft wood, you drag things across it, it scratches, it splinters. And then if you don't want it, has knots, or you got to pay a fortune for it. And people don't seal it properly because when you have a piece of redwood and you want it to last, you've got to maintain it. So what do? You've got a girder underneath, just like this. You have to put like the same kind of a material that you put around a window to seal on top of that, your choice. Then this is we'll say this is the deck, all right? Now you need to put this on the sawhorse and seal it all the way around, all 4 sides and the ends, which are most important, because the water goes in the ends and it starts rotting. So that's the problem with redwood. Yes, it's beautiful, and if you have plenty of money, go for it. But you know, some people, they always want to see how they can save. So Douglas fir, strong. You can paint it, you can seal it. You never want to do it till it's thoroughly dry. When you get wood from the mill, it's inside wet. It might feel dry, but it's not. So that's why you see people put fences up, and go like this, and all of a sudden, hey, they're like that. Why? Because they were wet. So I butt the fences, you know, tight, so that you get more bang for your buck. So now, so I've covered Doug fir. Obviously, you can use metal rails, wood rails, composite. Composite rails are very expensive. The materials are like $80 to $100 a foot. That includes posts and the top rail. So, and then you have labor on top of that. The actual composite decking is more affordable. the sellers trick you on this stuff. And what they do, the distributors such as Burco, which they have a place up here, they have one down in Sacramento, and Lowe's, Home Depot, everybody carries. There are less quality products. They make groups in the back to reduce the cost because you can see all that material, you know, isn't there. But it's still plenty strong. It doesn't reduce it at all. Well, you look at it and they'll say, well, it's $350 a foot or 4 foot. And when you get into this, like this, where you want on the edges, because if you have the end of the deck, you don't want to see that. So what do? You have to have something finished edge. But the $350 a foot ends up being $7 a foot because their foot is 5.5 wide by 1 foot long. So that means it's $7 a square foot. So you got 1,000 square foot deck, you know, and you're looking, and so you have to look at that. The labor's probably the same as putting any deck down. They make different types of clips. They make clips that hide so you don't see any screws. They also have screws that are the same color as the deck board that you get. The thing about the clamps that work, and I should, by the way, I'll just pass on some pictures of ones that I just finished. And then I'll go the other way with references if someone wants them. And then, so the thing about the spacers to hide the screws, but what you end up getting is you end up getting a gap about like that. And I don't know about you, but I don't like to walk with it, see the cracks. I like it to be tight. And this stuff doesn't expand or contract. So I prefer the screws. They make a product called ASIC. I don't have the sample here. They have the best colors out of any of them. It's lighter. This product, I should pass it around so everybody can see it, is very heavy. And ASIC is light. It doesn't really matter, not really, other than me putting it in. My God, it's easier to do. But the colors are great, and you can go screws in more toward the ends. So those are the things about decks that make a difference. We had, you'll see the paper that comes around. I had this client, and a tree fell on their house and the deck. And I think there's pictures in there of that. And when I did this one deck for referral, it was on an angle like this. That doesn't seem like a big thing, but that was twice as much to do that deck as it would have been a square deck. Because of the way you have to, all the designing and making every piece fit just right. And I think they'll show one in there. So, and when you do decks, and you have stairs almost off every deck. Otherwise it'd be concrete. So I'm very conscious of safety. So most of the steps, the code says you can go up to 7.5 inches on a step. 7.5 inches is going to be probably like that. Maybe maybe about there. Well, those are hard to carry things up and down. Water, food, whatever it is. You can drag those things up and down the steps on composite, not redwood. Yeah, you're going to tear it up. So I try to reduce them down to 5.5 inches. That. So now there's your step. Very manageable. And so people say, well, no, I'm okay with it. And I remember this one lady, she went on vacation, and I wanted to do, I said, I think we need to change your steps in the garage. No, I don't want to spend money. I said, okay. So the guy came next day, I said, she's gone for a week. I said, change those steps. I don't like them, do them for no charge, you know. And so I came back and she said, oh man, I love it. So you can really tell the difference when you do that. So if you notice the pictures, you'll see that like if I do we'll pick a color of the major part of the deck. You might say, well, I'd rather have this, because maybe, or I'd like to have the lighter. I use the toe a different color. So mentally, when you're going down a step, you don't think. So that mentally, you're going to go to, so then you have the different colors for safety. You see those steps, you don't trip. Sometimes you can trip upstairs. Another thing about whenever you go to a landing, the landing has to be equal to a door. So if you open the door out 3 feet, the landing has to be 3 feet. So what happens is your mind thinks, so you can't change the size of the step until you are able to have your mind go where it's comfortable and remembers what it is. So that's why the code's so particular, and your steps can't vary more than that. A lot of insurance claims, steps and ladders. So, do you have any questions for me?
It was about $7 a square foot, and so that doesn't make a difference which manufacturer you use, they're all about that.
Yeah, it does. Well, it doesn't,
A little.
you know, you're gonna pick the flavor, you know. I don't know if they pass it on that. You can see some has gray,
Yeah.
and then some are on the red, some are on the brown, but not really, because they all last as PVC, so it all lasts. Yes, they can argue over one a little better than another, Ford or Chevrolet, you know what I mean? I don't think, other than ASIC is probably 10–50% higher, I don't see the advantage of that, other than color. Color's a big deal to me, because I always pick colors in houses, so I try to work with the client on that. But that one deck that I showed down there was, it was $35,000 to do that deck. And then the other little deck was like $6,000. They're not inexpensive, but I have to do the build underpinning and post beams, all that. So, and put electric, put electric underneath, brought it out so they don't trip over cords. I think that's the main thing to cover. If you know anybody, I'm happy to go give them ideas, and I don't charge for that. If they want to use somebody else, it's okay, you know. There's plenty to go around for everybody. So, thank you.
Thank you, Bob.